Tell me,
feel?
Are we in?
We're in.
Can you feel me in you?
You're in.
I'm in your ear holes, listeners. Yeah, that's right.
Dry.
That's right. Sex reference right off the top. Sweat Equity podcast and streaming show. Pragmatic entrepreneurial advice and with dick jokes. I'm your host, Lost Smith. Sitting there with me, co-hosting, is Eric Redinger.
Oh, you kind of did it. Kind of.
I do it.
It's a hard G, not a soft G. I'll take it, though.
I do it on purpose because once you mess it up once, and then you're stuck, right? That's how we are. We're monkeys.
Yeah.
Hashtag GirthyRI, hashtag 69B2B. Help the businesses that help your business or your side hustle. And hashtag Sweat Equity. We're on social media, all the social media stuff. I'm not going to push them out there. You're going to Google Sweat Equity. We're on iTunes, Apple Podcast app, Spotify. Spotify making moves in the podcast game. I'm excited about that. Sponsored by Grasshopper. So if you want to help the show, share this with a friend. Go, hey, this is good business advice. This is good hustle advice. Good, just good dick joke fodder. Send this
dick advice.
The best way you can help without having to spend any money is that you're listening right now. Take a minute, hit that share button, send this to a couple friends. If you want to make it an old school chain letter, that'd be awesome.
Oh, I forgot about
We should
those.
try to figure out how to do that as new viral marketing. What's new is old. We'll do the sponsors real quick. These links will be in the details of the episode. Trygrasshopper.com/sweat. That is your business line. You get $50 off because of this podcast. Link, trygrasshopper.com/sweat. I use it for my business line. It forwards to my mobile phone. No one knows my mobile number when I'm making business calls, and it's not a Google Voice number, so I don't sound like a jabroni when someone calls me.
Yeah.
Scalable business phone lines. Yeah, sexy shit like that. FreshBooks, gofreshbooks.com/sweat. We use FreshBooks to invoice clients, and I can tell you, pretty simple, pretty clean. I love it way more than QuickBooks. I am a convert.
Looks better for sure.
It's way more chill. You know how chill it is?
So chill, bro.
So chill. Oh, man.
Oh.
GoFreshBooks.com/sweat. Gives you that hookup. I think it's like $100 maybe. I don't. Maybe 1,000. I don't know. The savings are
You'll
on
have
you.
to try it and find out.
And then Warby Parker, warbyparkertrial.com/sweat. I am wearing Warby Parker glasses. If you're watching this on YouTube, Facebook page that has less than 10 views on all our videos because we have not marketed stuff, that's my bad. But warbyparkertrial.com/sweat. They'll send you 5 pairs to try on at your house for free. It hooks up the show. Don't get ripped off by big glasses.
Big glass.
Big glass.
I think it's, just
big
glass.
monocle.
Big monocle.
It's definitely a monocle. If there's
monocle
a symbol,
is only one.
Yeah, I know, but
monocles.
Yeah,
You
you're back to
tape them
glass.
together.
You're back to bifocals there, and I think we're ready to get the show started. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about my sweat equity?
Howdy, Johnny.
Sweat equity. Sweat equity. My sweat equity.
I don't like
My sweat equity.
being away this long.
What about my sweat equity?
I'll be like an NFL head coach and say, "I'm my bad on us not being able to record. I've had the coronavirus."
Me too.
Which is a joke no one finds funny. I don't know why. I'm like, because they're all worried. They're narcissistically worried. I've said that to probably 100 people as like they're like, man, you sound like shit. I'm like, yeah, coronavirus. And they're like, just one of those like little, like,
That's not funny.
how you doing jokes.
Yeah, you did it with Ebola and the other one.
H1N1.
Yeah, bird flu. What else
What are
did
all
they
the
have?
greats?
Yeah, all the hits.
Syphilis.
Yeah.
Right? That one's
That's
a
never going
legacy
away.
joke.
That one's never going away.
That's getting my brain, bro.
Did you see the thing I sent on our Slack about gonorrhea being the strongest thing in like the universe? It can push whatever it is like 10,000 times its weight or something.
I did. I always like. All right. So when I hear those things that an ant, can carry 1,000,000 times its weight, for some reason that stat never like really sinks into my head. I don't know why.
I know. Well, it's because it's not actually pushing a lot of weight.
Today I learned that gonorrhea is what. This is how we start this show. No wonder we don't have LinkedIn Live yet. By the way, if you submit it, I think we have a better chance than if I submit through my account.
Really? Why?
After talking to a friend of the program, Rob Cressy, Alex Abel of Lunch Pool, a couple people at this innovation summit you and I were both at, that I know have LinkedIn Live, because I'm on a mission, man. I'm on a mission. I want to get it. LinkedIn's legit. I know to everybody out there, they still think it's not, but I think it's corny. I think there's a lot of corny stuff out there, and I think
Yes.
but I think we do real talk, and that's kind of our lane in the entrepreneurial, businessy. This is how we wanted to make it. Like, here's some real advice we heard from smarter people, either by interview or off air, and we want to tell the audience about stuff, and then what we're going through personally to kind of get our shit together, because that's the hero's journey, as they call it in the narrative.
What?
But I'm saying, like, LinkedIn, I think we could really separate ourselves because there isn't anybody being authentic over there.
Yeah, it's all like really pre-produced and like clean and like.
But it's not even like good. Like when you
Like
look at
that
like the
too.
production too, you're
No,
like,
I mean like
ugh.
just like very thought out and like careful.
Yeah.
Not us.
And no, we need to kind of maybe go a little bit more that way. And that's mostly on me to get a little pre-production going. I need to kind of get writing at some point before we do an episode. So we go, okay, here's 1, 2, 3 topics, or booking better guests, or just guests in general.
I had the gonorrhea thing,
So
that's good.
no, I like this. I'm not saying this is bad.
Yeah, you started the sentence. You
In
didn't finish
addition to, I'm saying, all right. So today I learned that gonorrhea is one of the strongest known organisms, capable of pulling with a force of 100,000 times their own body weight. This is equivalent to a human pulling 10 million kilos. So not from America, probably, but or a big cocaine fan.
Right. Pretty interesting.
Pretty interesting. But I think the thing that bumped me was I saw Spider-Man as the top comment or something, like the first Reddit comment, the top one. It was something about Spider-Man. I was like, I'm out.
Yeah. Well, that's Reddit for you.
Reddit, it's still legit. I'm putting it in that LinkedIn bucket. People kind of shit on it. There's still a lot of bad.
It's real smarmy.
I like that. I like that amount of sarcasm.
Everything.
Right. But I do love TIL. Today I learned, and then what is it? Shower Thoughts is the other one.
Yeah, I kind of got away from Shower Thoughts.
Well, for us, we feel like comedy hacks if we're reading all those, and then maybe pushing them out like they're our own thoughts, because it's not original. That's like those are jokes essentially to me.
And I've seen Shower Thoughts where they're stealing jokes from like people I personally know.
Shout out to Matt Fernandez. Yeah.
Just like, dude, what? I'm actually going to see Matt Saturday.
Oh yeah, where at?
The Attic in Ybor. He's Brian Posehn.
Yeah, if I get the gumption, maybe by the end of 2020 to maybe shoot my own comedy thing in there. That's a perfect room. He shot his in there. Yeah. His Amazon special. If you have Amazon Prime, you can watch it anytime. It's Matt Fernandez. It looks like he owns a brewery. If you find his headshot.
Yeah.
And Fat Hernandez on Twitter. But it's perfect setup. I want you in a dream scenario. I want you and JP, our late producer.
God rest his soul.
Yep. He used to be around a lot more. No, you, JP, and our friend of the program, Damien, to do the production, to shoot something in there. Because I just have all this material from 12 years that I don't know what to do with it, and I've never recorded.
Just let it go.
I'm gonna go Andrew Schultz style. You know him?
No.
New York comedian, kind of making.
Guy who did Peanuts.
Peanuts.
The Charlie Brown thing.
Oh, no, it's Charles Schultz.
Ah.
And this is Andrew Schultz. There's no T in his, but everybody says it's Schultz. At any rate, he just put out his own specials on YouTube.
Yeah, you could. You don't have to have distribution.
Well, here's how this works.
Yourself.
And this is kind of why we do this podcast. This will always be free. is because you do this stuff for free. You build up the audience. You really put out, good content over a consistent period of time, and really add value to your audience. Be that either the audience wants to laugh with new material all the time, because that was his deal. He would bring his camera everywhere and just put crowd work stuff up, and I'm like, fuck, I'm such a pussy. I should have done that.
Yeah.
But he just put a special on his own, put it out there, paid for it, and then he's got all these
He could sell it.
subscribers. No, now he has
Or
leverage.
I guess he doesn't even have to sell. I mean, if he's got subscribers with ads, you really don't have to.
He
but
wrote down numbers on like Fighter and the Kid a month ago. I heard him, and I'm like, oh my God, this guy's brilliant. Because he's like, look, I've got 1 million subs on YouTube, right?
Uh-huh.
You're not going to take those away from me, right?
Yeah.
I own them, not you. I
Yeah.
made myself. So now when I'm talking to Netflix, I don't have to take it. I'm not that thirsty to take it.
Yeah.
I might just do my own again.
Yeah. I mean, if
Because
the ad
cost
revenue's
benefit,
there,
yeah.
if it's there, why bother?
Right. Why would I be in a sea of specials where there's one every week, literally on Netflix, a new one every week, and I've got the digital marketing prowess to get it to the other countries just like Netflix does. That's kind of the big deal with Netflix.
Yeah.
So I love that. That's kind of a crazy like hustle story that this guy's younger than both of us.
Well, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I know it makes you feel like
Man.
such a piece of shit.
Jeez.
But he's also that guy. It's like, oh, this guy's really creative in the art way, but also can do the business marketing side without being douchey.
Yeah, that's tough.
It's hard.
It's hard to have the energy to do all that.
God, we were at that innovation Synapse Innovation Summit in Tampa, and it was like a trade show of not really an industry, but more of people literally in the innovation area. Like,
Yeah, it was cool.
It's not just apps, not just software, not just new products. It's a lot of startups and kind of younger businesses, and then a lot of older businesses, talking about how they pitched, how they got to where they're at, how they grew. For this show, it's like right up our alley. But
Next year we need to be live from there.
I know
We're stupid. We were like, I was 10
you were
feet
working.
away.
Yeah, they had this awesome podcast studio, and I was like, damn it.
I know.
So yeah, we'll work on
I
that.
didn't even think the day before to ask him, hey, could we use this tomorrow? Like, I didn't even think to do that. I was all up in whatever I was doing.
You were busy with our friend of the program, Serena Faison. I mean, you guys were doing step and repeat interviews with people that aren't good on camera.
Right. It was, but dude, I thought that was
81, dude.
It was a great marketing idea, because basically Appley Health, who we were hired by, was getting these people information and then giving them a video produced, ready to go, of somebody from their company talking to Serena, just talking about the summit or whatever.
And
win-win for everybody.
It opened up a talk with Dr. Jerry, who owns Appley Health, and you and I was like, damn, this is a really cool idea. And I'm like stalking him, because I'm like, I want to be able to help and be involved, on a business level.
Are you talking about for Appley and their idea?
For Appley,
Okay.
but he was very savvy, because most doctors are not.
Yes.
Most doctors are terrible businessmen. They just want to go do what they need to do, check in, do none of the administrative ever.
Right.
Do none of like growing strategy. Don't really care about that. And then usually kick it Friday half day.
Yeah.
If you're doing your own practice.
Yeah. Serena and I have talked about kind of taking that idea.
Becoming doctors.
Going to med school.
No,
about taking the red carpet idea.
In the alley.
Because really, like, the key to it was Serena being able to do 81 interviews literally in 2 days.
Former newscaster, but just has a disposition of just one of the like nice person Hall of Fame.
Yes. And
kind of people.
And it's just like, even if I talk about it on the podcast, like, you can try and steal this idea, but good luck finding a Serena Faison that can do it for that long and that well. It's like, you can't really just replicate it, but we can.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about it there, where we have to work on like positive energy. Because we wake up in the hole.
Yeah.
That's why you wake up at 4:30 and probably don't talk to anybody for an hour or two.
Scream into a pillow for 45 minutes.
Well, that's sexual, but I mean,
it's both.
Okay. Yeah. Your wires are getting crossed.
I get it all out. I'm very efficient.
I
with
mean,
that.
that's what it's like, married life, bro.
Yeah.
But you know, I wake up always like, ugh, and I can't remember when I didn't. It's more of like old man back pain than anything else in the hole. But we're starting in the hole where she, I think, wakes up and is just like very
Today's gonna be a
happy.
good day.
Yeah, and I'm like, who does this?
I know.
So, genuinely very like just nice to talk to as well. Yeah, y'all should pursue that as a package of some sort.
Yeah, we talked about it yesterday. I mean, there's so many conventions that go on just in Tampa alone, but really, because like I said, you can't really reproduce it. You could, but you'd have to find another personality willing to do that. Like, you got to remember, she's on her feet for 7 hours that day,
Right.
and
Does her own makeup.
the same disposition at the first interview as
By
the
the way,
last interview.
One
Crazy.
thing, while I remember it, because my video, I look so shiny and sweaty and fat, like a Belushi brother.
I can't fix that.
Well, I'm saying like, and we've said it for this podcast, and I made a mental note to tell you, if we just get a little makeup, a little dab,
Yeah.
I think a little like a $3 set.
I just take toilet paper and rub it across my greasy forehead. Done.
Yeah, but I mean, you've got
What?
people like me and sweatier, like on camera. I'm talking about you guys are interviewing a lot of people that are not good on the mic, and
Oh.
I consider myself better than most. But in that kind of situation, I'm still not comfortable either. So it's like,
Yeah, but
it's a
at the
different
same
mode.
Everybody, it wasn't like we were like, hey, get in here, we're going to stab you. It's like,
Yeah,
hey,
but-
come on in. Like, people want to do it.
okay. So I'm gonna make a comparison to Samsung phones for this package you want to do. Why are Samsung phones cheaper than iPhones?
Because they steal all your information, they sell it.
It's backloaded, right? They make money on the data on the back end.
And ads, they put ads in their phones.
Right. But I'm saying like, so the upfront fee is way lower, or that monthly cost is lower, thus creating this weird inferiority complex that Samsung people have. Our producer John Paul is one of them who has to tell us about like the camera, which is better. It's always better.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like, were we arguing about this? Like, there's a lot of people that just want to bring it up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, look, I'm iPhone for life, bro. I'm done.
Yeah, I can't go back.
I don't want to learn another thing, like hardware wise. And so,
they don't work as good. The cameras are better, but it kind of ends there.
Right. This is a computer. Yours is like a faux computer. But it takes better pictures, takes better slow mo. If I was doing AV stuff, for sure, I would probably have that at least as a side piece phone.
I don't know. I got the new iPhone Max 11. It's pretty sick.
So Samsung makes money on the back end, and that's how they get you, right? That's how that company becomes profitable in that division for phones. Y'all need to package it, but then find these additional revenue streams. So by making the interviewers looking the best they can, no shine. This is where I'm going with this, is that you get their info to market to them once you're done, because now you get their stuff too. You get their contact.
Yeah, but
And
I mean,
then-
at the same time, whoever hires us would get it as well.
But then you can go, hey, here's your video, and then that we shot, and then you can do it like Shaker, where you can cut it in a bunch of different ways or upsell it. Hey,
So
whatever.
the thing about it is, like, if you're sending out 81 different interviews to 81 different, in essence, companies, I tried to make it as without fluff on the beginning or the end or whatever, so that they can throw whatever intro video they might have at the end, whatever watermark they want to throw on it.
I was almost trying to figure out how to do my own, because I was like, oh yeah, this is a weird cold open almost.
Yeah, I mean,
No, but it plays. That's what you're hired to do.
yeah, it was
right?
like, I was like, should I put transitions in? No, whatever.
it's
Like,
too
they
much.
might, yeah, it would have been crazy, but
That's
yeah.
when you and I kind of overdo it, overthink it on projects. Like we would do this with websites too. It's like, oh, this will look a lot better.
I know
This
we
is gonna be
overwork
better
it.
for them, and then they don't give a fuck, and then we're like, oh fuck,
Yeah.
we spent so much time.
Well, in this
debating
case, I just did it really quickly for
Right,
them,
right.
and that was me going above and beyond for him, and Jerry's cool as shit.
But video for you and John Paul and Serena, kind of packaging things like this is like there's so many ways. I mean, we've talked to so many companies the last 3 years. There's so much opportunity with video as far as like employee onboarding
Yeah.
and playbook or passive income, teaching a class online using video. The reason we really invested a lot of our time and energy into video for the podcast is because we just know it's not going to stop, right?
Yeah.
Even if a lot of people a lot of people that watch podcasts are not the second screening in it, but they just like the movement.
Yeah.
Because, there's that part. But then this is a way to get our voice out there in that medium while we're doing other things.
Sure.
And that's the sell I would always pitch to let's say you do another red carpet step and repeat at something. Then let's say you do another 90 interviews or whatever, just like you just did the last 2 days or last week for 2 days.
Oh, this business model will be much less. It won't be 8 hours of stuff. It'll be condensed in.
Right. And you'll probably be able to timestamp while you're there, like make notes. So
Yeah,
your
and
editing doesn't suck.
Right. I got all kinds of lessons learned for the future,
Right. And then just like that pricing strategy book I was telling you about, you just, when you do 3 columns, you're trying to get them to choose the middle one when you're giving packages out. And then on the other side, on the end of it, hey, how do we do? How can we get better? Any ideas are great. And then, oh, by the way, if you want us to add this, this, and this to your video, just here you go, hit it. And then the op side of that will suck in the beginning, but you really got something there is all I'm saying. I don't see a lot of people doing it. And the
like
combo,
I said, not everybody can.
right.
I mean, it's tough to find Serenas laying around.
And then
standing around.
That leads to like the stuff we've had a lot of intro meetings with companies about like, hey, we want to have our employee like university. We have so many techs here, or we have so many employees under us that we want to make our own little university of videos for our internal, closed off education.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I think that's the bread and butter. Like I see you and John Paul going in.
Well, yeah, or just like selling
getting a boner
business model.
Business
like
boner.
Business boners. I don't have a good boner one anymore, do I?
But
we'll just leave it.
I'm getting all jacked up because this is like I could see
Fucking thing sucks.
I see this as such a fucking need in video. We still haven't figured video out, and it's still like the files are too fat for a lot of people. And I when I was doing my one way kind of like I had clients under our account, we're doing projects for them. When I was on my game and sending them like a 5-minute update, and here's what we're doing. And I would like envision like, oh man, if I could just get like an easy way to like pop in some info as I'm saying it, like
what, just like on-screen graphic stuff?
Yeah, like that almost on demand. If I said a word, it would pop up a little graphic kind of thing, like if this then that kind of.
Yeah, I mean, you could do. Like with our live stream studio, like I've got graphics I can pop up there and stuff.
But like voice commanded is what I'm saying. Like you can do a Siri shortcut.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm just throwing ideas out there, but I like what y'all did. Unfortunately, you had fucking thousands of people around you, so the audio's.
Well, yeah, day one audio is not something I'm proud of, but I didn't realize. I was like not thinking about where we were going to be sitting. We did that, and then I got there. I was like, idiot. Obviously, there's going to be 1,000 people walking around.
Yeah,
but day 2 worked out a lot better.
Yeah, so it was in the hockey stadium here. For those that have not, or outside of the area, not heard of this or not going to Google it on their own, in the exhibit booths for most people were in like the concession area,
like the corridors.
Yeah, so it was a little bit of a different setup, which I liked.
Yeah.
So shout out to the like 5 or 6 guys that are running the Synapse Summit. There's going to be one in Orlando, so maybe y'all can do that one.
Oh yeah, is there? Nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'll put you in touch with those dudes too. What's it called? So I taught a class. Speaking of audio, I need to figure this out after this episode. I want to see if we can use it as maybe an extra episode since I hate that we hadn't had one, and I was like, I'll record one on my own. I'll do it. I'm gonna do it, and then like I fall asleep like sitting up like a dad,
Yeah.
and
I
then
mean,
like
we
wake up like
both.
who did that? Like my dad does that.
Yeah.
Like he startled himself
Angry.
awake. Yeah. Who made me go to sleep?
Yeah, from his own snoring.
Yeah, it's like sleep apnea. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a good common thing.
So I'm
Yeah,
gonna be hard on myself there because we both talk about it, especially we talk about it on air. But I taught a B2B marketing class, which felt like stand up meets. It felt like this show a little bit, but man, I was sweating to the fucking oldies. It was rough because it's 8 a.m.
Were you literally
340.
sweating?
Oh, so much flop sweat.
That I want to. Did you take
I
video?
wanted you to come with me to get video because I knew I'd fuck up the camera, even though I tested a little bit and I was like, what messes up with the Mevo? Oh, it's when I'm not on Wi-Fi, and then you have to use cell phone to get it to connect. I was like, God damn it! I knew I needed to test that.
Yeah.
I have the audio, which doesn't sound bad. I think I can clean it, or you can show me how to.
Yeah.
But what's it called? I gotta edit a couple things out too.
Inappropriateness.
Well, I'm representing my agency. That's not. I don't own it, so there's a couple things I want to spot check to make sure I don't want that publicly out there.
Right.
So some stuff, some stuff is for that room.
What? Oh, okay. What
Some
did you
stuff.
say to a bunch of
They
college
asked me a
kids?
bunch of personal questions too at the end, so it's like I answered all.
Oh
of
yeah,
them.
we don't talk about anything personal.
No, but
ever.
like I'll show it to you. You'll be like, yeah, you probably would.
Jeez.
No,
I'm
it's not
excited
bad.
now.
It's not bad, but
I'll
it's like
gladly fix that audio.
like when you see stand up, it's like some stuff's for that room only, right? It's not meant to be out there.
Sure.
We're 99% pretty transparent on this show.
Yeah.
But look, I don't ever want us to be 100%.
No, that would be bad.
I think that makes us almost sociopathic.
Yes.
In a way. So it's not really to protect ourselves either. I know that. I know it's more the people we love that.
Yes, for sure.
And we both got to keep secrets for friends, take them to the grave. There's some shit like that. Killed a man.
Totally.
So
That's what we're talking about.
So last Thursday, it's an 8 a.m. 340 kids supposed to be in the class. It's a bunch of juniors, undergrad at University of South Florida, and it's like, oh man, I really should have nerded out and planned where I needed to drive because you're on campus, and you're like,
dude,
fuck.
Yeah.
And
USF is huge.
I have to go. I'm like, I'm looking through emails. I'm sweating while I'm driving. I'm like, God damn it. Where did I pick up this pass to just park?
No.
Because parking is such a nightmare on any goddamn campus.
Yeah.
And so I'm like,
should have Ubered. I would have told you that. I didn't think about it.
I should have, but I was like, I really did go like, all right. I padded so much that I was like, I got plenty of time, like that thing. And I jinxed myself. I even got like a coffee on the drive there. I was like, I'm way too early. And I was like, 5 minutes before it started, like sweating. I have a mic stand with the Mevo camera on top of it.
Just rushing in all sweaty.
I'm talking to two kids in the back. I'm like, I throw them my old iPhone 7 that's attached to the Mevo. I go, what's your name? Austin? All right. Hey, look, here's how this thing works. You got to help me out. Just zoom in. Just make sure it's recording if you can. If not, look, fuck it. I don't care.
And you got up and left with your phone.
No, shout out to, I think his name's Austin. He was cool. Him and his gal pal in the back of the room, but 340 kids. It's like a 90-degree morning too in Tampa.
Yeah.
It's one of those like just
Standard
fucking
January.
soggy, like
Yeah.
back sweat from the car to the classroom. And just that flop sweat of just like, oh man, I gotta speak. I gotta try to make this entertaining for me almost to get through it. Because I was like, how much time do I need to do? Like 30? And she's like, oh, no. This is an hour and 15-minute class. And I was like, ha! And she's like, you got the slides, right? And I was like, I read them out loud on the way over here.
Oh, God.
Well, this stuff's pretty easy. It's pretty general.
Yeah.
Like slides.
You're doing crowd work for the last 45?
Well, so I go, how long can I take questions for? Because I like that part. But went well, I think. Like at the Innovation Summit, we had an exhibit. I'm standing next to my boss. A kid from the class walks up, and she's like, "Hey, I saw you teach last week." And I was like, "Oh God, don't say anything bad. Please don't say anything bad. Say it was awesome." She's like, "It was really great. You're the best speaker we had." And I was like,
Oh,
"Ah!"
that's nice. Good
Well,
for
I don't
you.
think I had to beat out a lot of people, but
Yeah.
I'm throwing bits in there towards the end. I'm weaving in like non sequitur shit just because I'm like,
Trying out new material.
well, I forget. I'm like, oh, I can see all of you guys.
Yeah, it's
I'm
like
not
a
used
comedy
to
club.
this. I can see the malaise on y'all's face.
Mhm.
Like, it's 8 a.m. I'm trying to get in their world. You're 19, 20 years old, 21. It's 8 a.m.
How many actual kids do you think were in there?
The professor thinks about 250,
Damn.
maybe 300. I don't know. It's a
I thought you
huge
were going to
room.
say it's supposed to be 340 and there was 34.
No. Ugh, that would be fucking death. But
Right.
yeah, that's the worst kind of stand-up show when there's like, oh, there's 8 people. We usually don't do it unless there's 10, and then 2 people walk in. You're like, fuck. I've done it for one person too. By the way.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was one of those things where it's like, okay, well, what I want to do in a personal, professional kind of zone in this kind of sweat equity lane a little bit is I think down the line create an act that is doing corporate comedy, being a corporate comedian, but actually be able to talk about corporate business stuff.
Yeah, there's probably not a lot. I mean,
There's like
is there anybody?
zero.
Yeah.
So, as far as I know, there's no stand-ups that really can talk business. The hard part is kind of weaving it into like a talk that makes sense. You know,
Right.
it's doable. I think it could be TED Talk-ish. Like you don't need to laugh every 20 seconds, like you try to go and stand up or whatever,
Yeah.
or every 10 or 6, like
Yeah.
Ralphie May used to try to do.
Well, you'd start with the information and build jokes off of that.
Right. You could definitely do a cheat where you can use multimedia and stuff and slides and all that. And then one thing that was cool was the teacher at the end of the class. You can text in a question, like it's like text to this number, but I could see all the questions pop up anonymously, or they can put their name on it too.
Where is it getting texted to?
It's like on the projector.
Oh.
Or the slides
like a live
I had.
feed
I was
of it?
using slides
Oh.
as much as I could, as like because I had to do it to make sure we because it's
Newsflash, asshole!
the B2B marketing stuff I'm going over. It's on their exam, so if I don't go over it, this doesn't really help them.
Information.
I'm like, oh, NAICS. Oh man, I was like, no one really uses that, but I know everybody has it.
National Association of International Convenience Stores.
Like a categorization system for businesses. So like, we're marketing agency. There's a 6-digit code number. Like every business has one, but no one gives a fuck and no one knows it offhand.
Yeah.
So stuff like that where I'm like, no one. This is important to know, but not really. You're never gonna really use it out in the real world. So that's like the fun shit to tell them.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, so think of like, all right, you finish that. I've talked for an hour, and it's like, okay, kids are gonna put questions. They're just gonna pop up on the projector. Some are gonna be anonymous, and some are gonna have people's name on it. The first question was like, where did you get this guy? And I was like, okay, it depends how you read this, because I read that as a compliment.
Yeah.
I know that was read as a hate.
How many question marks were there?
It was 3. So it was like, and the guy put his name on it. I was like, who the fuck is Vikram? Vikram, or whatever the guy's name was.
Vikram.
I was like, you fuck. But I was like, I'm going to say
more.
that. Wow, this guy's amazing. Where did you get this guy? For free?
Exactly. It's all about how you look at it.
Someone said, the next one was like, what kind of car do you drive? And I was like, oh man, I'm going to be real insecure on this one. An 03 Yukon, dadded out with 2 car seats. I'm going to run into the
I would
ground.
have been like, hey, it doesn't matter what kind of car I drive.
But I want a Tesla. But
Doesn't matter.
I have my eyes on a Tesla truck. And then the other one was like, is this guy
You're
really
going to get one too?
Huh?
I already got the deposit in on the Cybertruck.
I've earmarked Hunsky.
Okay.
that after you told me you did it, I was like, you can flip that. It's actually like a sound investment almost.
I mean, I'm gonna drive that bitch.
One of the
ugly
first
it
jokes
is.
I ever wrote was, I don't get why cars aren't just like tanks.
Yeah.
Like this is only like 15. I wrote this joke because I never got like, you hit my
Why
bumper.
don't we have guns on it?
No, it's like, why did you hit my bumper? Like you tap it and it's like, oh, that's 12 grand. And you're like, what?
Right. Or like paint jobs, they're like
Yeah.
so scratchable.
Yeah. Go to
Why?
Mako. Why can't Mako hook that up? Oh, they're trash. Okay, so would I just buff this thing out? And you're like, nah, you're gonna have to pay for a whole new buff. You're
Right.
like, what the fuck?
I
A
know.
door panel?
Yeah. But
So
it looks good before you did that.
I'm down. I hated the truck at first. I'm down with it because it's all utility.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not sexy.
It's not sexy.
That's an engineer's like way of looking at it.
Right.
And
That's us in a nutshell.
right. That's so pragmatic. That's
Pragmatic,
so like,
baby.
yeah. There's dad.
Okay, you're really cracking
Sorry.
yourself up on this.
I
Let
was
me
about
get
to
the
say
failed.
it's a dad dick boner truck, but I don't know why.
Yeah. Cut that one. Dad
But,
dick
all right,
boner truck.
So after this, you and I'll get that audio. I'll try to put it up as an extra episode since we're behind, and then we won't be get. You know how we won't get behind? You know how you don't get behind?
You get in front.
You get ahead. Yeah. So we'll bank a couple this weekend
Okay, cool.
and do some gay sex.
Yeah,
We're working out.
sweatequitypod.com, live stream that gay
What
sex.
about my sweat equity?
Yeah.
Sweat equity.
Yeah.
Sweat equity. My sweat equity. My sweat equity.
Sweat equity.
What about my sweat equity?